If we move on and jump over to the project manager role, you will see that the menu has changed. We assign our employees to different roles that are connected to what they should have access to. We've opened the workspace to the project portfolio overview, which is in list view. This is a graphical overview of the projects that the manager is in charge of, and we can see how the project is performing in terms of margin and margin percentage, what the baseline hour is, what the contracted hour is versus what was spent, and what the estimate at completion hour is. You can foresee if the project will exceed the hours or not. Then we have some key KPIs at the top. Now let's dive into the project management workspace, where the project manager will spend most of their time. We went from the portfolio view to a single project view that the project manager is working on. Let's start with the dashboard. Here in the dashboard, we see an overview of the key details of the single project that we have selected. We have the KPIs that tells us how this project is performing. If we go into Project Info, the Details tab lists down key information about the project. Under the Tasks tab, this is where we can define the tasks that will be worked on for this project. In the Prices tab, we can see the different rate cards that have been set up. In this example, we have a rate card for a designer and an engineer, and you can see the prices right here. You can also make project-specific prices if you need to use different rates for a specific project. The Invoicing Plan tab lets you define how much you are going to actually invoice. Let me switch to another project to give you a better picture of how the invoicing plan will look like. Using another project, we have an example of an invoicing plan right here. You can also use the Documents workspace to upload documents or to view document archives. Moving on to the Budgeting workspace. To set the foundation for your project, you will need to set the budget that you want to measure against. For this example, we work with different budget types. Right now, what we're looking at is the working budget. To view the baseline budget, click on the Baseline tab. The Revisions tab gives a full history of what was changed in the budget. Now that we have laid the foundation for the project, we can look at staffing for this project by going to the Resourcing workspace. It shows us an overview of the resources that we have assigned for this project. Level 1 is a simplified way of looking at this page. You will only see the people assigned to this project. And down at the bottom is where you will see their availability. If I want to have a more detailed view of the plan, we can change the level, and it will display the different tasks that I can make a plan for this project. As you can see here at the bottom, the list of people has also expanded, since I have assigned more people to the project. I can follow up on my project under the Actuals workspace. At any point in time, I can see what I have spent against the budget that I made. I can see my baseline hours versus what I have spent. I can also see my working budget hours, so we can have a feel of how this is going to be when we're done with the project. And the same goes for the costs here. I can also drill into the details by clicking here. As the project progresses, you will want to monitor your project using the Progress Evaluation workspace. You can follow up on the completion percentage if it's a fixed price job. We also have this Progress Evaluation view, where you can see the baseline, the actuals, which can then lead you to change the estimate to complete, that will then define the completion percentage, which is tied to the financials recorded here and how much revenue you can actually recognize for the project. Now, let's move on to invoicing. If you have decentralized invoicing, the project manager also has the capability to do invoicing. Let's select a different account to invoice. There are lines that are ready for invoicing. It tells us how much WIP is available, so that I can determine if whether I want to invoice, write it off, or carry it forward for the next invoice. There is also a chat functionality that you can use to chat with the finance people to let them know how I will proceed with this invoice. Invoicing can also be centralized, which means that this will be invoiced by finance, and the invoice will be sent to the project manager for approval. Project managers can then access the Approval Center to approve timesheets, expenses, and invoices. We hope this video gave you an adequate overview of how project managers can manage their projects and project financials.